Hey everyone, it's Luke Frye, Washington CPA and co-founder of Timber Tax. And today I'm going to talk more about just some regular deadlines, which we haven't really been focused on much on these because we've been so focused on COVID relief with SBA loans, PPP specifically. So it seems like for the most part, the PPP is taking a back seat because you've either already applied and then you're just waiting on the forgiveness. And I would highly encourage you to check directly with your lenders on the forgiveness process. So today I want to focus mostly on the July 15th deadline that's pending. We're just now entering into tax season, really, which for a lot of you, you're experiencing, and you've had some requests from us. And Monday was our internal deadline for a lot of things. So primarily, we're focused now on Q2 projections. Now, if you're working with us on an actual calculation, so we're figuring out the right amount for you to pay, that means we would have already sent you a request, and we're hoping to have everything by June 15th, Monday, for the payment, which is due July 15th, so in about a month. I know that many people are still working to get us information, and so we're just hopeful that you do log into your client portal, get us new information, so that way we have everything in good time. The biggest thing we really need to make sure we have is your May financials, primarily your income statement, so January through May. And then we can help you estimate a good payment to make by July 15th. Also, if you have not already filed your tax return, which we're working on lots of those for you, or you haven't filed an extension yet, which most of you, if we're extending, we have not filed, we're working on those now. So those are both due July 15th. That means we have just about a month, so just under a month to get those done. It's hard to believe that we're already almost to the equinox of June, and we're going to be working to make sure that we are not rushing to the end. And we've had enough uncertainty and lots of extra time, so we've just really been working to try and plan and communicate everything. So if you're wondering where you are on that process, check your portal, make sure everything is uploaded there. You can always find that at timbertax.co. Up at the far right, client portal, log in, and if you have a S Corp, for example, and a personal return, you'll need to toggle between both of those on the client portal. Q2 items are labeled Q2 2020, and so that's what we really need in order to make sure that we have all of those items. And then we will be sending you your projected tax payments, ideally the beginning of July, and that gives you some time to think through whether to go ahead and make those, whether to set that aside during this time, or to just have an idea of how much you need to get saving. So that's really it for today. We're just talking about extensions, and Q2 estimates are due July 15th. If we're not calculating a projection for you, then you can rely on your 2019 tax return, which has vouchers. And quite often those vouchers are good if your income is the same as it was last year. I'm assuming that almost everyone has a much lower income this year. That's not the case for everybody, but it's definitely something to consider. If your income is half, then maybe you want to pay in about half of what those vouchers say. If we're not calculating it for you, it's tough for us to give you good advice, but if nothing else, make sure you always go back to 30% of your net income. So every month, January through May, what is your net income times 30%? That's a really good guess, at least for what to have on hand in a savings account. Your income tax rate or your effective tax rate in total might be 15 or 20%, or might be a little bit higher if you live in a state like California or New York. So as always, feel free to send us an email, reach out, comment on this video if you have any questions about the July 15th deadline. If you haven't been in communication with us about your 2019 filing, we're probably planning to file an extension for you. So be sure to watch your emails for that. So thanks so much.